need to go home. Like, I don't even think my mom.
That scouting report was so good. Now I'm really
16, I'm open.
Well, thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Have a good night. Let's chat again soon.
Sounds good. Thank you again.
So we back with my man. We had to cut it a little bit short last time, but I wanted to make sure we kind of picked up the conversation where we left off. The biggest thing that we had kind of really talked about the last time is kind of the decision for you to kind of step away from Bishops and move on to something new. And since then, it's come out that you're going to be coaching at Rancho Christian High School, which is a school up where we live, up this way, up in the Murrieta area. So I want to first congratulate you for that, and then kind of just get your thoughts on kind of how that became the move, and a little bit about like kind of what's your vision for the future for your new program.
Yeah. Well, it was hard to leave Bishops, but 16 years was a long time, man. I was there 15 years and 11 months longer than some people wanted me to be. But Rancho Christian is a good situation up here in Temecula. Rich history on the boys' side. Just had number 3 draft pick in the NBA draft. We're going to build the girls program just as strong. This year we're going to struggle. We're going to struggle. A lot of growing pains, a lot of getting kids used to the culture and the way we want to play. But I'm excited.
What do you think? What do you think is going to be some of your biggest challenges?
Just getting the girls to buy in into what we're doing, be committed, and compete, and just teaching them how to compete. But that's the coach's job. So that's what I'm also excited about. My biggest challenges are the things that I'm most excited about.
And are you feeling? That's what I was going to say. Are you feeling kind of reignited? I mean, obviously, as a coach, your passion is to coach and to see the kids succeed. But is there a bit of a sense of you or a feeling of this new challenge maybe reinvigorating you or recharging you a little bit?
Oh yeah, definitely recharged. I left some really good girls at Bishops. I wanted to see them all the way through the process. We're still going to do that, but just a fresh new start, different, and a totally different section. So I'm the new guy. Getting to know people up here, putting the schedule together was pretty tough because we don't have a league. But yeah, I'm definitely excited. Finally get to go back to Nike Tournament of Champions, which we couldn't do while we were at Bishops because that was always fell through during our finals. Obviously, I still got on Adidas right now, but being able to switch from Adidas to Nike, we're doing that, and just getting them ready to finally have a season for the girls program up at Rancho Christian.
So this will be the third time that you've taken over a program, first at San Diego High and then at Bishops. What kind of lessons have you learned from those two? Well, actually, let me change it like this. What were some of the biggest differences when you took over at Dago versus Bishops? And then how will your experience in those two programs help you in this new situation at Rancho Christian?
Yeah, when I first got the San Diego job, I was real fortunate. I had a freshman that was there that was very good. She was pretty much on her way to being an All-American. But San Diego High had no history. They had no history of girls basketball. So that was the challenge in bringing people, getting excited about girls basketball there. That school was 100 years old. So being able to build a program there was very special because I went there, graduated from there, and being able to build there, that was special because that was home. And then going over to Bishops, which was, a private school, and they had a rich history. Fincher's Win, paved the way there. They had already won state championships, sent girls on to Division I college, and just, he had left for a few years. And so just being able to go there and be able to rebuild that program and put them back on the map where he had them, and just having everybody, knowing, hey, Bishops is a place where they want to go play girls basketball at was real joyful for me. We had a lot of good success, and was proud of that.
And how was those two experiences? Do you think, how are you going to be able to lean on those two experiences as you restart or get the program started at Rancho Christian?
I'm gonna look back through some stuff that had us being real successful at both schools, and some things that I did that was right, that worked, and then scrap some stuff that didn't work. Rancho Christian is going to be totally different than both. San Diego High, obviously inner city school where a lot of the kids were came from single home families. And, then you go to Bishops where all the kids, they live with both parents. And now we're at Rancho Christian, which is a Christian school, and everybody is into their faith. And it's just going to be different. So taking some different approaches to how I teach the kids and how we build the relationships with the kids.
What's the biggest difference in you, would you say, from the coach that took over at Dago to Marlon Wells that's about to take over here at Rancho Christian?
Oh man, the difference is I'm a lot older, and the growth, when I first started coaching at San Diego High, I was renegade. Hey, I was a club coach, boys coach. So San Diego High, we coming in, we press, we're trying to blow you out the water from the tip to the end till you leave out the parking lot. And we were scoring 100 points a game, and I didn't know as a young coach there were unwritten rules of, hey, you don't press when you're up by this much, and you don't leave your best players in when you're up by this much, and so on and so forth. So grew from that, and then went on to Bishops, to where we had a lot of girls that, hey, they just wanted to play basketball to be a part of the school, and some weren't trying to play at the next level. They just wanted to be a part of the program and school pride, and so I didn't, I pushed them just as hard as I pushed the kids that did want to play. And to now at Rancho Christian, you want to have a kind of be steadfast, even where your kids that want to play at the next level, you're really going to push them, and kids that just want to be a part of the team and have fun, we'll find a place and find a role for those kids as well. So the difference is growth and maturity from me, and realizing that, winning is great, but it isn't everything. And so as a young coach, I thought it was, let's win at all costs. Me, coach, I did this, I did that. And then as you get older and you start making friends with coaches throughout the county and state and the country, you start learning, and you realize, man, people could care less about how many wins you have. People could care less about how many championships you have. People care about how many lives you changed, and building these young ladies up. That's what people care about. At the end of the day, that's what it's about.
So I just want to go back a little bit, because I'm going to be selfish and pick your brain for me, because what you just kind of touched on is kind of the situation I find myself in. Obviously I spent some time with you, been in some programs where we've had some D1 players, and now I'm in that spot where I got a mixture about, half of the group is, has aspirations to play next level basketball. And then the rest of the group is, like you said, is kids that are, showing their school pride and just looking for maybe something to put on that college resume, or just want to be a part of the team. How do you balance that? You touched on it, but how do you find that balance of coaching up the kids that want to play at the next level, but then not alienate the kids that just kind of want to be out there for fun? How do you find that balance?
You know what? That is real tough. but there's ways and there's certain things and there's certain drills that you can do in practice that everybody needs. Everyone needs fundamentals. And so, you start with that and where they're getting better, they're feeling comfortable with it. But then there's some things that some of the kids, like where I'm at now, I have 3 girls that have never played before. And so for me to get back to that, you're talking about, I haven't coached a kid that hasn't ever touched the ball before in probably 17 years. So now I got to go back and remember, hey, the basic fundamentals: jump stop, triple threat, pivot, right, left, up with your right hand, back with your left, things like that. So we've implemented things like that in the practice. And yes, it's boring for some of the other kids, but they need that as well. So kind of start off with the basic fundamentals and then try not to give them too much. You give them a little sip. You don't want to spray them with a water hose. And so, and they'll learn. And basketball is a tough sport. But once the season starts and you get to go every day, you're going to see the progress. You're going to see the kids get better. You're going to see the kids get more confident. And it's not going to happen overnight. So as a coach in that situation, you have to have patience. But again, you have to have balance, because you have you basically have the haves and have-nots. And that's where having a good assistant coach is very important. And they have to be willing to work with the kid, the lesser talented kids, and develop as well.
Something else that you've got a lot of experience in, especially the last in your time at Bishops, that I'm sure a lot of coaches could learn from or get some tips for, is how do you manage practices with small rosters, right? So when I was with you, we had 6, 7, 8 kids. Obviously with those kind of numbers, scrimmages become a challenge. Game planning becomes a challenge. How did you kind of manage that, of able to have a highly competitive practice, successful game planning when your numbers aren't as, 12, 13 kids where you have, 2 whole squads?
Right. And with that, with low numbers, you have to make every drill competitive. You have to make the kids, or have the kids, compete against each other in every single drill. I use the clock for everything that we do. Hey, man, get some water, 30 seconds, run that clock. Hey, we got this drill, put that. So even if we didn't have the players to scrimmage against or compete against or go against, we had a clock. We had the clock to go against, and everything you did was on the clock. And it made the kids more disciplined. They took the practices serious, and that's why we were in the game. We were able to get in the games, and were able to compete with some of the best teams with only 6 players. We were in great shape. That's why we were able to compete in games with teams that have 15 kids. And, like last year, the games that we lost, I mean, we probably lost 1 or 2 where the team were just better than us. The other games were, hey, they just had more people than us, and kind of wore us out. So the kids were in great shape. We focused on a lot of conditioning drills. Like, we didn't hey, get on the line and run sidelines or sprints. Every drill we did was a transition drill or something that you got your conditioning in. So it was tough, but that I got better as a coach, and I think our kids got better as players because they got more reps. So some of the practices were basically skill sessions where we were able to do a lot of skill work, and kids got better.
And then last thing about, in terms of Bishops, in terms of looking back, like you said, you left some, congratulations again to Coach Paris Johnson, who'll be taking over for you. And you left some talented kids, like you said. You have three seniors, that I know I've spent some time around the next level kids. Talk about kind of those 3 in terms of what they could bring to a program, and kind of what college coaches would be getting in those 3 kids.
Oh yeah, definitely. You got Natalia Sierra, who was a late bloomer, and she's just kept getting better and better, and her confidence is out the roof now. And she goes hard and she competes. And like I said earlier, that's the one thing you're going to get out of all three. They're going to compete because they know how and they know what it takes to compete. You're going to get high IQ players. They're going to understand the game because we teach it. We teach the game and we teach you how to understand it and play in it. And if you're a team that runs transition, they're going to be able to do that. If you're a team that needs to play half court, they're going to be able to do that. And then you got Angie Robus, real quick guard. I call her Baby Iverson. She is going to help the team out tremendously, just with her attitude, her mental toughness, her charisma, what she brings to the team. She's a lot of fun. She's going to get under your skin. She's going to rattle you. She's going to challenge you as a coach. She's going to challenge you as a player. And for me, as a coach, I love that. I love that because I don't need kids that are intimidated by others or intimidated by the coach even, and not afraid to ask questions or afraid to challenge people. So, Angie, I'm telling you, a lot of people overlook Angie and Renee because of their size, but I don't know if there's any guards better in California. Renee Chong is probably one of the best in California. And I asked the coach, I can't remember who it was. I said, you mean to tell me you're going to take a kid that's 2 inches taller, but not better than Renee? And they were like, yeah, we just need the bigger guards. And so, and to each its own, you can recruit how you want, but I'm telling you, those two, they're going to miss out. I mean, Renee could shoot it. She could pass it. She could handle it. She could defend. She's a lot quicker than what people think, and she's tough. And her IQ, she has a very high IQ for the game. And, it's one of those kids that as soon as she comes in the program, your team is automatically better.
And then just to go back, let's, talk about Paris. What is Bishop getting in her as a coach? Obviously, she played for you. She's coached with you. She's got experience in the college level, both obviously playing, coaching, obviously some professional experience. So what kind of coach is Bishop's getting in Paris, Johnson? Oh, yeah, Paris is awesome. Bishop's is very, very fortunate to have Paris to land in their lap. I mean, how some people need somebody, Bishop's really needed Paris. And it's a good balance in between what I brought and then what she's going to bring. I mean, Paris is a live body. I mean, lots of energy. Her IQ of the game is tremendous. I mean, she coached college. She learned. She helped me out tremendously last year. And again, we only had 6 players, but just being able to break down film, being able to watch film with kids, showing them the things that they're doing right, showing them the things that they could change in their game or the adjustments. And the kids love her. And so she's a PE teacher there. So she's going to be able to add more kids to the team, more than I was, because I wasn't teaching PE with middle school kids and school basketball. I was banking on getting the kids that wanted to come in as 9th graders and really wasn't getting the kids in the middle school because they were being groomed to, for volleyball and water polo and things like that. But, Paris, Bishops has a great one with Paris. So this past weekend, we were at Ladera. You guys put on the We Got Next event. I think this was what your second or third event since you've been up there. Yep. Second event. So okay. Yep. So talk about. I saw a lot of high level basketball. So after a couple of events, kind of tell me about how you're feeling about that situation there at Ladera, and kind of what can people expect about the events that you guys are going to be putting on up there. Oh yeah, man. Ladera is going to be a place to be. Not probably, but the best venue in California. 8 courts, air conditioned, got TV screens up there, nice cafe. Everything is clean. Everything is well ran. People are friendly.
enough parking for everyone, places around there to go eat in between games or just hang out and chill. And we're going to bring high level basketball there. I mean, I know it was early September, but some of the games and some of the teams that were there this weekend, especially for the high school and the lower level girls divisions, were great. I mean, we had EBO from San Diego. Our program went up there, represented. I think they went to the championship in 2 or 3 of the divisions, won the high school girls. We had Central Cal Chaos from Fresno. They went to like 3 championships, won one with the 8th grade division. We had GBL, Cal Switch, one of the EYBL teams. They ended up winning the championship. We had West Coast Premier Orange County made their debut. They look real good. And we had a lot of the high school teams, a lot of the San Diego teams represented. And then my team, Rancho Christian, we combined with Mira Mesa. We got an opportunity to get our girls out there to play, get some experience. But Ladera is going to be the place to be. October will probably be our last time to do some of the high school stuff. But, you know, from November to February, we're going to be doing a lot of great youth events there. So if you guys have any teams who want to come up and get that experience, Ladera is a great place.
So, like you said, we saw some really high-level games. I mean, we potentially, you know, we saw some of the teams that are going to be definitely in Southern California in the mix for, you know, some of the top teams in the county. We had Mount Miguel, Bonita Vista, Clovis West, Mission Hills, a lot of really high-level basketball. What did you see that maybe stood out to you, or players, teams, games in particular that kind of stood out for me from this past weekend?
Yeah, man, I'm telling you what I saw some teams up there playing hard, competing, getting after it early. So if that's any indication of how the season's going to go and what we're going to be at in March, I'm excited about it. Good teams like Mission Hills is a very good team. They're very good. Chris has those girls right on cue. You know, Bonita Vista's rolling. They got some real solid guards. They ended up winning the championship against a very good Clovis West team. And that was barn burner. That was a good game.
Really good game.
And then, you know, except Mount Carmel, then you got Cran Lutheran. You had a lot of teams from the Orange County that was up there. Looked really good, real solid. And the one thing that I can say that I like, there's a lot of solid coaches in the girls' game, especially on the female side. You got Courtney Clemens at Francis Parker. And then we talked about Paris earlier. And just in San Diego, those 2 young ladies are going to represent what female girls basketball is all about. They played at the highest level. Both played at San Diego State. Courtney had an opportunity to play in the WNBA. She went to 2 WNBA finals. So she's going to bring a lot of experience to Francis Parker. And it's crazy that they're both in the same league, and then they're going to be competing against the great Terry Banford at least twice a year. So, you know, if anything else, you know, I'm pretty sure Terry will baptize them the first couple of years, and hopefully they'll build their programs to where they'll be able to compete, and, you know, eventually, you know, they'll be the queens of the Coastal League. But, you know, I'm excited about the young females that are doing it right in San Diego County, and they're gonna do right by these young women.
So we cover the San Diego area. I want to know if, and I'll give you a couple too, but I want to know if there was any players that maybe local kids, San Diego kids that you saw this weekend that, you know, maybe turned some heads for you.
Maria Garbashon out of Rancho Bernardo. She's gonna be special. She's definitely gonna be special. There were, can't remember the kid's name, young kid out of Westview, big kid. What's her name?
I wrote it down. I don't remember what I did with it, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I'll remember it.
Right.
I'll put it in the comments.
you know, Hune out of Carlsbad. She had a real solid weekend. And another coach that I forgot to mention was Melissa Payne out of Del Norte. She's doing a great job. She's doing a great job. Her program does a great job with those young kids and developing. She played at NYU, and she's going to be great also. But San Diego has some good talent coming up.
So yeah, in that the Bonita game versus Clovis, like you said, really high level game. You know, a couple kids that really, I mean, obviously they're not those kids are not kids that are really flying under the radar, but Caitlin Buchanan is one of my all-time favorite players. Just I actually talked to her after the game. Just leadership, you know, a natural floor general. You know, kind of an old school point guard, pass first, really good at setting the table.
Yep.
And then a kid that I hadn't seen before. She's a freshman. Her name is Katie Graves. Saw her play with. I think she was with that PBC team with Melissa, 9th grade forward. She goes to St. Joseph Academy. Coco, she goes to Christian. She really turned my head. I got to see her a little bit this summer, you know, working with us some time, and I was really impressed with her playmaking skills, her ability to get in the paint, and a solid leader. And that transition, what we're going to talk about next is the cream of the county. It's so many talented players. And, you know, a lot of times, and we talk about this all the time, we kind of get that grief about, you know, we don't know this kid or we're sleeping on that kid. And if we're sleeping on a kid, you're right, we are sleeping on him. And it's because we haven't seen him. And, you know, this weekend we have the cream of the county, which is an excellent opportunity for us. Every year that we do this, I always, and I know you can attest to this, there's always 2 or 3 kids that I'll say, hey, I really like her. You know, let's see what she's doing. So let's talk about kind of the history of the cream of the county, and kind of, you know, how long you've been involved and how that started as far as the girls side of it for the San Diego cream of the county.
Yeah, I think this is like the 6th year we've done that. I saw Aaron Bergen do it for the boys, and I asked him, I said, hey, man, would you mind if I piggyback off you and do the cream of the county for the girls? Because it's a great event. You bring the best kids together, and they get to compete against each other and build those relationships for a one-day event. You know, the boys get it done. You know, you get all the top boys playing, and they put all the beefs or whatever they got to the side with the coaches. The girls, we aren't there yet. The girls aren't there yet. So we don't get the best players to bump heads with each other and build those relationships with one another. You know, and hopefully in the future we could do that, where the cream of the county is going to have the best versus the best. But right now, for the cream of the county, it's kind of like, you know, where some kids make their debut, you know, just where they first get on the scene, you know. Like a lot of the girls don't participate for whatever reason. They may have club games or whatever, or they're more of it is their coaches are telling them don't play in it. So when you see some of the girls not in it, 99% of the time their coach told them don't play in it, or like, you don't need to do that. And then again, at the end, hey, I don't have exposure. You slept on us. Why aren't we this? Why aren't we that? You know, I want to be on the ball as life. And then you have all those media guys there. And then those kids missed out on it just because a coach was like, oh, you don't need to play on that. Oh, that's a EBO even. Oh, they're biased towards the Mission Hills or the Bishops or whoever. And so, which I think is crazy, and, you know, taking opportunities away from kids to where they could get exposure and get to compete against some kids that they've never played against before. So, you know, I just look at it like, you know, it's crazy that Pow didn't get to play against some of the other better kids in the county. Destiny didn't get to play some of the other better kids in the county. Dejanay, Kelsey Plum, you can go on down the road. And that's what we're trying to do with Cream in the County, to where at least you get this opportunity to play against some of the best of your best in your class because, obviously some people are in different divisions, different leagues. Some people are North County, East County, South Bay. So you'll probably never get to play against them. So we wanted to put this together where all the media could get eyes on them. And, like I said, we're going to have KUSI there again this year doing the highlights and interviewing kids. And it's just going to be a special event. And it's good. It's good camaraderie, a good thing to do right before the season because you probably won't even get to see some of your buddies once the season starts because you're going 6 days a week practicing and playing games and going out of town for tournaments. So, I love it. I love it. And I'll keep putting it up there, man. My girl, Jessica Grant out of Mission Hills, she's the 3-time reigning 3-point champion, and she's going to go for 4. And I don't know if there's anybody out there that could beat her.
Got a kid that had a really good weekend.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes when she shoots it, we've seen, like you said, she's been winning these competitions in our events for years now, and it's like to see the growth and the maturity of a kid like that. The looking at her confidence this past weekend. A lot of times when you can see when the kids sign that offer or sign that make that commitment, there's a different level of I guess weight comes off their shoulders. They're more comfortable. They're just kind of playing more free. And I definitely saw that a little bit with her this weekend.
Yeah. She definitely had a lot more swag this weekend, man. And wasn't playing so tight. I mean, every time she let that thing go, it's straight bottom of the net. But yeah, we got some good girls and some surprises. And, we have some girls that are really looking forward to this, to put their name on the map. And to be honest with you, some of the good kids avoid this just so another kid doesn't outshine them. So they can say, "Hey, I didn't play in that. If I could have, would have, should have." But some of these young girls that are looking to put their name on the map, they're going to come and show their stuff this Sunday at Mount Miguel.
I think a good reason for a kid to play would be like, let's say, a younger kid, like you said, coming off maybe their freshman or sophomore year, and you might not be as good as you think you are. You might have had a solid, freshman year, sophomore year, and especially if you go to a smaller school, and you need that measuring stick of going up against some of these other kids and seeing, okay, I need to get better at this. And another thing is if you're playing in a certain structure, a lot of these programs are very structured, very much. You go here, you go there, and you can operate within the confines of your system. But can you play basketball? Can you get out there when there's not when they're not telling you what to do, and you just kind of have to play basketball? And I think, again, like you said, some of these coaches are unfortunately going to talk them out of it. But this is a great opportunity to really measure kind of who you are as a player, and again, what you need to go on to really find out who those measuring sticks are, who those kids are at the top of the rankings. Or the top of the list or whatever, these kids that maybe already committed to schools, and you can see how good you are. You might be better than these kids and kind of see where you are.
Yep. And that'll definitely help because, we'll have Baller TV there. I know some college coaches have already asked and going to subscribe and watch it. If they don't watch it live, they're going to be able to go back and watch it. So, great opportunity and looking forward to it. So it's going to be exciting this weekend.
What are your? I know, you're making some transitioning a little bit, kind of in your kind of what you're doing in the club world. I don't know if you wanted to speak on that at all, or touch on kind of the what you got going on in your future in the club world.
In the club world, everybody, we're still going to have EBO San Diego, so. Everybody that was excited about it not being here, we're still going to be there. That was going away, we're still going to be here. So the kids will have a place to play. Me, myself, personally, I'll be still directing, but I'm going to be with Why Not Premier, with Russell Westbrook and West Coast Premier combined. And we're going to have teams on the EYBL circuit. So, again, I'm in a totally different section now, so I'll be catering to a totally different set of kids. And obviously with Why Not Premier, we want the best kids from the West Coast. and bordering states of California. So if there's kids good enough for San Diego, man, we're coming after you. So, I know we have a few kids that are already on the EYBL circuit, but we want to get the kids the best compete against the best. So that's what I'll be doing for myself. I'll be coaching with.
Those who don't know, explain kind of what EYBL is and why that's so significant.
Well, EYBL is the elite circuit in youth basketball, boys and girls. You have, and even though I was Adidas for years, you have EYBL, then you have Adidas, and then you have what's the
Under Armour.
Yeah. Under Armour. So, you have those circuits, and I've been known that EYBL was the best, but was loyal to Adidas for years. And now it's time to make a move because it's what's best for the kids. It's not what's best for Marlon. And EYBL is going to put them on a platform where they get the maximum exposure. They get to play against the best kids in the country, and you're going to see the best coaching in the country. And EYBL has separated themselves from the pack. So if you're one of the best players in your area or in California, if you're not playing on the EYBL circuit, you probably will get slept on.
And I think I want to touch on that because I think we like to really cut through the misinformation and make sure people understand, because there's so much misinformation out there. So I want you to speak on the importance of finding the club or the program that's right for you. And the reason why I ask you that is because I know since I've been with you, we don't take every kid. Not every kid when doing EBO, not every kid did you think was an EBO kid. And at the same time, if you felt like a kid would be better off playing at EYBL, you wouldn't try to talk them out of that to play for your program. I know, I've been around you where you've said, hey, go play Cal Sparks, go play West Coast Premier. Obviously, you have your own personal experience with Destiny and West Coast Premier. But not everybody's going to shoot it straight. Not everybody's going to tell a kid, hey, you're too good for us, or maybe you're not good enough for us. So kind of touch on why that's important and kind of how those conversations go.
Well, it's important because there's a spot for everyone. There's a place for everyone. Everybody, like San Diego Soul does a great job of getting kids to high academic schools and the right fit. And they are proud of that. And I see what they do. And so some kids, they might not be a good fit for EBO culturally, socially, economically. So we kind of put them in a different situation where some of the other clubs are like, hey, we're going to take you and we're going to do this, and that. And when they go, it's not a good fit because their program doesn't match what that kid wants. So you have to talk to the kids. You got to talk to the parents. You got to do some consultation sometimes and kind of see like, hey, man, you know what? Such and such, she wants to be a McDonald's All-American. She wants to be here, be USA. You know what? Our team right now isn't good enough for you to reach those goals. You're going to have to do something super spectacular to be a McDonald's All-American from our program this year, just because we don't have the players to put around you. And so at a certain point, you have to do what's best for the kids, and kind of be straightforward with them, like, hey, you're good enough or you're not good enough. And so, and those are tough conversations, but those are conversations that need to be had.
And I'm going to ask you, this is a loaded question because I know the answer, but how do you handle it when a kid comes to you and says, hey, I don't think this program is for me, or this situation is not the best for me? How do those conversations go when they're brought to you?
I mean, it's easy. You try to ask, get kind of like a why, but at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter why. They just didn't feel comfortable or whatever, and probably just just say, hey, wish you the best. And if there's something that we could do for you, we would. If we could make a call for you to a different program, we would. You know what? We're still going to see you all the way through the process, even if you are not with us. So it seems like a hard conversation, but really it's not.
And I've seen it. I've seen, kids that were part of the program that, went in another direction. And then, when time comes to pick a school or get help finding a school, I've seen people reach back to you, even though, they may have moved on from the program. And what, this is why, but why? Why do you still feel, I don't want to say obligated, but what is it that makes you still want to help these kids, even though, they've kind of decided to go to another program?
Yeah, because it's not about me. And then I have the resources to help kids. So I'm definitely going to utilize them to help them continue on with their playing career. So, definitely not going to not let our ego, or if a kid left our program, not wanting to help them after.
Something I meant to touch on, but I forgot is what we're really trying to push for is all female coaches for the cream of the county this year. Kind of, where'd you get the idea from that, and kind of why were you thinking of going in that direction?
Yeah, just because I saw that, how these young ladies coming up need mentors. I mean, there's guys all around. There's guys all around, but I've never been a girl before. So some of the things, I didn't play women's college basketball. I didn't play in the WNBA. I didn't play overseas women's basketball. And so we have a lot of females now that are done with their playing career, and they're young. And this is what I've always expressed to them when they were 15, 16 years old. You probably got a timeline to where you're 30, 31, 32, where you're going to play this game. And so now you have the Courtneys, the Parises, the Melissas, who finished their college career, finished their pro career, and they are coming back, being able to coach and teach these young ladies. They've been to where these girls want to go. And so who better else to teach them that? You got Andrea Bird at San Diego High, my alma mater. So proud of her. She won a CIF championship. And just keeping the tradition going. Just keep it going. And a lot of people, and some of the female coaches, they're hating on people that they should be learning from. And it is, this game and this community is real small, and we all could learn from each other. We all could help each other. And, that's what I'm here to do. I mean, I'm 48 years. My good days have passed me. I don't plan on doing this coaching thing much longer. But what I want to do, I want to, at least leave a mark to where, hey, man, this is what we built, and this is what we're continuing to build. I would love to see some of the female coaches jump on the boys' side. Shoot, men coach girls basketball, so why can't a girl coach boys? But that's a little further. Not. I
mean, we're seeing it in the college game and the pro game too. So I mean, it's probably something that we're going to see soon.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, man, these young ladies can coach, man. They can coach. And it's just not about X and O's. They can coach. They can coach these young girls. And, they're showing them the right thing, just, in the way they carry themselves at the gyms, the way they dress, the way they walk in, the way they prepare. So that's what.
And they always say, and no disrespect, obviously you've coached boys. We've all, pretty much everybody who coaches girls coached boys at one point. But, the thing that they always say is that coaching girls, it's a different level of skill development. It's a different level of teaching, just because of the differences, obviously the differences in the body, the differences in athleticism. So if you think of it in terms of the amount of teaching and skill development you do on the girl side, why wouldn't that translate to adding that skill development, those fundamentals to these, these athletic, guys on the men's side? So it only makes sense.
Right. For sure. So But yeah, man, I'm excited the way the direction of basketball is going. Looking forward for the future, and then definitely looking forward for this weekend in Fremont County.
So before we go, I told you I wanted to do this. It's a couple of people. I think there's nothing good comes out of a platform if you don't use that platform to promote or shine light on other things. So a couple of people I want to spotlight, and these are not paid plugs or anything. These are just people that I have come in contact with since I've been in San Diego and in this area too. And I know some people that you were working with. And the first is my guy Jacquez Lindsay. He does clutch game gear. He's outfitted pretty much every school in the county. I remember when he was first starting, we started with hoodies, and just so proud of kind of where he's gone from the beginning to where he is now. I make fun of him that talk about how he's big time now, and I know how much time you've spent with him and how much work you've done with him. So if you don't mind, speak a little bit about kind of the growth and development of young Jock and his business.
Oh yeah, and Jaquez understands relationships and building relationships and not getting in between anybody's mess or disagreements and things like that. Of course, he's a businessman, but he does quality work. He will be one of the sponsors of Fremont County. That's who we'll get the jerseys from and the shirts for the coaches. And Jaquez is a great guy. He listens, man, and he understands, and he wants to get critiqued and things how the way to go. How does this feel? How do the girls like it? And so you know what? And he doesn't mind. Hey, man, these are horrible. Let's do this. And so Jaquez, he was an athlete himself, so he knows the importance of looking good, feeling good, playing good. So he makes sure he puts that into every project that he does. So I saw a lot of nice uniforms up at Ladera. A lot of them had that clutch on there. So it's so clutch is so out there now. I could look and tell. I don't even have to see the logo. I could tell. I said, oh, Jaquez did those, just because the presentation, how nice they look and how they fit on the kids, and kids walk around with those things on proudly. Shooting shirts, t-shirts, uniforms.
And then the other one is something that's kind of new for both of us living in this area. I know my wife put me on, then she put Destiny on, and then Destiny put you on. But it's our folks at Elite Nutrition up here in Marietta. I just think it's so great to see what a couple like them is doing. Small business. I really see the potential in what they do. It's Coach Marsh and Lady Marsh. They do nutrition and meal planning up here in the Marietta area. So kind of talk about your experience with them, because I know we've shared stories about how much we enjoy, the meal planning and the shakes and all the stuff they do. And you actually, I just had the protein balls, and I know you were telling me about those, and I'm hooked on those. Kia brought me some of those the other night. So kind of tell me about how you feel about our guys at Elite Nutrition.
And I just started 2 weeks ago. So, and I'm able to go down there, sit at the shop, chop it up with them, talk to them. I feel good already. Obviously, with already having COVID, was dealing with some health issues. So this was a good start. So in 2 weeks, I'm feeling a lot better, a lot of energy. And they're just good people, man.
Yeah.
Just understanding the importance of nutrition. Eating right is going to help me tremendously. Like I said, my energy level in these last couple of weeks have been high. Usually about 3:15, 3:30, I'm ready to take a nap. But I'm good. I'm good all the way through, and really good folks, man. Real good family. And they understand the importance of building relationships.
And I just think, one of the things that I admire about you, again, is the relationships. And I think that's, unfortunately, being in the basketball world, especially when it comes to high school and helping kids get into college, the relationships is so important. And, I just feel like when you cross paths with somebody who maybe has a product that you believe in, or is doing something you believe in, it's good to share that, because most often we don't want to see things that we like grow. It's like we feel like, oh, that's just ours and let's keep it here. Or, and I know this is something my guy Jock will appreciate, is we always want to hook up. Like if somebody's got a good product, it shouldn't be about hooking me up with it. It should be about, paying them for the product or paying them for the services they do. I know you're always on me about that in terms of kind of giving away kind of the stuff we do here. So I just think it's important that we not only build people up, but not expect them to give us stuff for free.
Yeah, and you gotta support, and so we've been talking about that a lot. We've lately supporting, and it's not about giving it for free. Giving it for free. Like with the hoops report, some people are like, oh man, that's baloney, it's bias, it's this, it ain't really on it. But keep thinking that if you want to, but we're going to still help kids and send stuff to college coaches. And like I said, I'm in a different section now. And so I've had other coaches reach out to me now. Hey, can you help one of my kids out, reach out to some schools. And so it's just real important to support and build relationships and not always want to hook up.
Well, I'm gonna get you out of here real quick. Just if you could give me, a lot of new coaches in the county. I still feel like I'm a new coach. Right now we're in September. So, and I know there's a lot of coaches. I shout out to my guy Sledge. He just got the job at Valhalla. Been texting back and forth with him, giving him little pointers. But right now, in September, October's right around the corner. What kind of advice would you give for new coaches right now, getting ready to go into that first season?
Right. For new coach right now, this part of the year is start developing your off-season strength and conditioning program. Get the girls ready, get their bodies right for long, rigorous winter season. Do some skill development, but every now and then start implementing your philosophies. Start implementing your schemes. You don't have to do it every day, but hey, show them, hey, we're gonna play, we're gonna run transition and run this certain set. So run that set to death every day at practice, so they could get used to it. And then once you start getting into the season, when you're going 5-6 days a week, they'll have it down pat. It won't be foreign to them. It won't be brand new. So right now, I will focus on development and our strength and conditioning. And focus too much on winning a couple of these fall league events. I would just kind of like, hey, let's see what we need to work on, because at the end, you want to be there in March.
No championships is handed out in October or even November.
Oh.
Well, all right, man. I appreciate it. I'm glad I could, steal a couple minutes from you again. As always, appreciate the mentorship, the help, the advice on everything. I'm sure the feedback that we got the last time we talked was really good. With all of the interviews we do. So I appreciate your time. I will put the links to social media links for Elite Nutrition if you want to, check them out, and of course for Clutch Game Gear if you guys are looking, like I said, a lot of new coaches looking for uniforms. Hit them up. He'll take good care of you. And again, thanks again, and we'll see you soon. And if you're not registered for the Cream of the County, hit us up. We still got some spots, and you definitely, registered or not, playing or not, you definitely want to come out and check out some really good basketball this Sunday at Mount Miguel. So,
sure.
Salute, Marlon. Appreciate your time. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, appreciate you.